Hello everyone and welcome. I am Janelle Knutson and you can find me at janelleknutson.com. Today I wanted to share with you my absolute favorite homeschool curriculum, and that is Spell to Write and Read. Over the years, I've been homeschooling 12 years now. I have 6 kids, pregnant with number 7, and we have tried a lot of different curriculum over the years. And you know, some of the curriculum is great in one season of life and it doesn't work in another season of life, and we have to find something else. And that's one of the great benefits of homeschooling, is being able to have that variety and to choose what works for your family at any given time. But there's a few curriculum that I just can't imagine homeschooling without, and I don't ever plan on changing to anything else. And Spell to Write and Read is one of those. So what is Spell to Write and Read? Well, Spell to Write and Read is a phonics, spelling, and reading program that covers all ages, really, from those just learning to read all the way up to high school, college level spelling words. Now, when I tell people about the Spell to Write and Read program, they usually go home, right, and get on the computer, right? That's what you do, and you research about that curriculum. And usually people come back and say, okay, Janelle, I am so overwhelmed. I do not understand this curriculum or how it works. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. One of the reasons is that, well, it's real phonics and we're not familiar with real phonics. A lot of us grew up with maybe whole language or what I like to call watered down phonics. If you are somebody who thinks of the English language as a whole bunch of rules and then a lot of exceptions, and it just seems confusing and doesn't seem to make sense, then you probably got watered down phonics. If you have taught your child the rule, when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does a talking, and then you have to teach them a whole bunch of exceptions of when there are 2 vowels next to each other and the first one doesn't say its name. Okay, that is watered down phonics. That is not real phonics. That is not the foundational, the foundation of our English language. Spell to Write and Read takes the phonograms, the sounds that we hear in the English language, the groupings of letters, you know, when you see a P and an H together and it says F, those are called phonograms. It takes the rules of English and gives you tools so that the English language really doesn't have a lot of exceptions when you use the Spell to Write and Read program. It is really phenomenal. But it's not familiar to us as homeschool moms. It's not what we were taught. It's not what we're used to. So it takes a little bit of time to learn the rules, to learn the phonograms, to get familiar with the tools in the toolbox to teach your child the English language the way it's supposed to be taught. The other reason that Spell to Write and Read, I think, seems overwhelming to a lot of moms, and definitely felt overwhelming to me in the beginning, was because we really want curriculum where we just open up the book and it says, okay, on day 1 you're going to do A, B, and C, and on day 56 you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and it just lays it out really clearly what we're supposed to do on each and every day. Well, Spell to Write and Read doesn't work like that, and that's actually a benefit to the program. Takes some getting used to, but it is really a benefit, and here's why. What Spell to Write and Read does is it says, hey, each child is unique. They are coming into the program with different levels of phonics awareness, reading and spelling awareness. Let's start them off exactly where they need to be, and let's move at the pace that they need to move. Some kids are going to take maybe 2 weeks to do one spelling list, where other children might do 2 spelling lists or maybe even 3 spelling lists each week. And so the curriculum is really designed to cater to your unique child and move at their own pace and help them to learn the basic foundational phonics of the English language at the pace that they need to learn. So it's actually really a phenomenal program. It is worth taking the time to learn all the rules and to learn how it works. I know it seems overwhelming, but it is worth it in the end. So what I want to do today is just go over some of the curriculum, the materials that come with the curriculum, kind of the core of the curriculum, so that you'll be a little bit more familiar with it, maybe not seem so overwhelmed. So let's go ahead and look at what comes in the basic kind of core package for Spell to Write and Read. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to get with the Spell to Write and Read program is the Spell to Write and Read Teacher's Manual. And it looks like this, maybe not so well worn as mine, but I've put little tabs here on the side of mine for all the pages that I reference a lot. But this is the Teacher's Manual, and this is going to come in the core kit. And I'm going to go over this in a little bit, okay? But you do need that. You also are going to get the Wise Guide for Spelling. Looks like this, and the Wise Guide for Spelling has the spelling lists in here. So these are all the spelling lists from starting off your child in kindergarten or first grade all the way through high school, college level words. So you're also going to get this book as well. The core kit also comes with rule cards. So you're going to get a nice stack of cards here that have kind of like an image on the front for your child to look at, and they're going to see this, and then they're going to say the rule to you. And on the back of the card, if you can see that, it tells the parent what the rule is and some more information about that rule. So these are really helpful. These are great for reviewing what your child already knows. All right, the other thing that you're going to get is actually two more things. You're going to get the phonograms, 70 basic phonograms. And what phonograms are individual letters or groups of letters that say a particular sound or several sounds. And so again, if you're going, I don't know what a phonogram is, I have no idea what you're talking about, don't worry. It's on the back of the card, it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you, the parent or the teacher, what sound that phonogram is making, and then some more information on that as well. Okay, and then the other thing that you're going to get that I don't have here with me is a CD that has all the phonogram sounds on it, so that you as the parent or teacher can make sure that you're saying those sounds correctly. Now that is the core, that's what comes in the core kit. There is one extra thing that you're going to need to purchase each year. And you know what I should say, the core kit you buy one time that you use all the years that you're teaching phonics and reading and spelling to all your children. So it is a great deal. You don't have to buy a new level every year. One-time purchase of the curriculum, and it's going to take you from kindergarten, first grade, all the way through to high school level. Now, there is one other thing that you need to purchase, and that is a learning log. Every single year, your student, each of your students needs their own learning log. So let me go ahead and get those and show you what those look like. Okay, so these are the learning logs, and there's two options to choose from. There is the primary learning log, and this is for the younger students, and it has kind of bigger lines that are dotted for your younger children. And then in the very back of the book are the rule pages. Okay? And your child is going to build their own rule pages as they learn new rules. So that's the primary learning log for the younger kids. And then you're going to have the black learning log for your older children. And the lines are just different. That's for their spelling words. And then here is the rule pages where they would build their rules. Okay, so that would be for the older kids. All right, so let me now go ahead and explain, just on a really basic level, how all this material works together. So stay with me. Okay, I know this is a lot of information, but hopefully it's helping you understand the Spell to Write and Read program a little bit better. I want to go through each of the materials that you get in a little bit more detail to maybe clarify things a little bit more for you. So let's go ahead and look at the WISE Guide first. All right, this is the WISE Guide portion of the Spell to Write and Read program. And what this is your spelling lists. And this is going to have your spelling list from the very beginning, child in kindergarten, first grade, all the way up into high school, college level words. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like inside. So I just randomly opened up here. At the very top up here, you're going to see preliminaries. These are the things that you're going to do before you teach the spelling words. So you're going to review the phonograms that they tell you up here. You're going to review some of the rules that your child has already learned. And on this particular lesson, you are going to build a reference page. Basically, you're going to teach the 111 rule to your child, and they're going to build that in their learning logs. Okay? And then over here you see a little note. This is going to tell you which step in the Spell to Write and Read teacher's manual where you're going to find all the instructions for building this reference page. Okay? Now the next thing that you're going to see is 20 words for the spelling list right here. These numbers just correspond to this is just word 561. That means that back here we've already done 560 words. Okay, so the number's not really a big deal. But here's your spelling word. It's going to have a sentence that you can read to your child when you're dictating the words. Sometimes I use these sentences, sometimes I don't. When you move over to the other side of this 2-page spread, you're going to see the spelling word again, but this time it's going to have the markings. And these markings help reinforce to your child what the spelling word is. Then over here is just some more information for the parent or teacher on what the rule is, anything about that might be helpful about why the word is spelled the way it is. All right, on the bottom of the page, on both pages, are spelling enrichment activities. And these are activities, you just pick one, maybe two each week that your child does to help reinforce the spelling words that they're learning for that week. Our family, I have my kids do maybe one enrichment each week. And then after that, to review their spelling words, they're going to do maybe 2 times each, or alphabetizing their words, or writing their words in sentences. So we do about we pick one of these each week. So that's kind of how the WISE Guide works. Some children are going to do one spelling list each week. They're just going to do one of these, 20 new words each week. Younger children might just do 10 a week. They might do these 10, and then next week these 10. And so they're taking 2 weeks to do one list. Other kids might do 2 lists a week, meaning they're getting 4 spelling words each week. So that's the great benefit of this program. You can move at your child's own pace. So let's go ahead and take a look now at the Spell to Write and Read Teacher's Manual. All right, this is the Spell to Write and Read Teacher's Manual. And when you get it in the mail or you purchase it at a homeschool convention, you might feel a little overwhelmed when you see all this information. But don't be overwhelmed. You do not have to read through the entire Teacher's Manual before starting the Spell to Write and Read program. If you open up to this back flap here, and of course I've been using it for years, so I've got my own little notes and things there, but you're going to see right here, it's going to say before you start in the WISE Guide, before you start dictating those words to your kids and giving them the spelling list, these are the things that you're going to do. And so those are the steps that you're going to want to read. These are the pages that you're going to want to read in this teacher's manual before you get started into the program. Then you're going to give your child a diagnostic test to see which list they need to start in on. And then you're going to go ahead and get started, and you're just going to follow these steps, and you're just going to read the pages that you need to read depending on where your child is in the program. So you're not going to read this whole manual before you get started. So don't be overwhelmed at all. But if you remember in the WISE guide, it would say teach a new rule, like the 1-1-1 rule. You're going to come over here, and you're going to see here is the 1-1-1 rule on page 156. So you're going to turn to page 156. Let's see if I can do that here. And here you go. Here are all the instructions you need for teaching that rule to your student, all laid out here in lots of detail so that you can understand exactly what you need to do. So that's how the teacher's manual works. You don't read it all at once. You just read the portions that you need to, depending on what spelling list your child is on, what rule they're learning, what words they're learning. Okay, well, I already mentioned it already, but you're going to be using the phonogram cards to review the phonograms with your child. You're going to be doing that each day. You're also going to use the rule cards to review the rules that your child is working on. So those are two other things that you'll be using on a daily basis. And then we have our learning logs. And just to kind of reiterate, the learning logs are where your child writes their spelling lists. They're going to write their words in here, and they're also going to build the rule pages. And then they'll reference those rule pages throughout the year to kind of reinforce the rules that they've already learned. So that's kind of the basic core of the Spell to Write and Read program. I am going to try to do another video to show you some of the supplemental materials that are optional that you could get to kind of make it a little bit easier. And anyways, I hope that was helpful. And that's the Spell to Write and Read program.